friends, welcome to my 2025 hobonichi mid-year flip through. I'm aware that this video is coming out a little late this year. Life is really unpredictable, right? And so I kind of fell behind in this journal this year a couple of times, just because I was dealing with all sorts of different things. And before we start, I suppose I want to talk about some changes. So if you've watched my 2025 hobonichi setup video, you'll remember that some of these stickers weren't here. So I talked about wanting, I think, Blythe stickers, but I didn't have them at the time, so I'll try to show a close-up. I have some Blythe stickers on here now, so that's what's changed as far as I remember. I don't remember if I added anything else. I added these little puffy buttons, and I think music notes. I don't remember what's new since my tour video, but anyway. And the charms have mostly stayed the same. This sticker is kind of peeling off, so I need to glue it down, but so far this is how it's looking. And yeah, so I'm just gonna get into it because I don't really know what else to say. As I was saying, I'm sorry that this video is coming so late because I know that a lot of people look forward to it. Of course, we're removing the ribbon again as I did last year. I don't think this is the most practical way of holding this journal together, and I know that I should maybe have a band. But to be honest with you, I don't really want to change it because I'm attached to doing it this way, and I don't know, maybe this is a change thing. I don't like to deal with change, so maybe it's something to do with that, I don't know. But yeah, so I'm just gonna get into this. I'm not gonna open this book right at the start just because I have my contact details at the very start, but there's nothing interesting happening in this little part of the journal. It's, for the most part, it's just scrap pieces of paper that I keep in the little pocket that's in the clear case. So yeah, so when you open my hobonichi journal, I stuck this Polaroid of myself from New Year's Eve, because this was around the time I started this hobonichi, around New Year's Eve. So this is just a little Polaroid of myself. I don't love this Polaroid. I don't think it's the best thing ever, but it just says welcome to my 2025. I saw a different artist who I really looked up to make this, she stuck a Polaroid in her hobonichi, and I thought that was really, really cute, so I wanted to do the same. I tried to glue some origami stars down here as well. They're really flat though, as you can see. It doesn't, gluing them down inside the book doesn't really work, and if they were puffed out, then they would likely just make the book really bulky, so they flatten down. But I don't know, I still kind of like it. It's just a crafty kind of, it gives it a kind of crafty vibe, I guess. Anyway, also, I think part of the reason I haven't really been updating this journal as much as maybe I wanted to is because I think this year, and I was talking about how I struggled with this in my setup video, but this year I kind of got into journaling a bit more, so I actually have another hobonichi that I use. I'm gonna show it, but I won't be doing a flip through of that one, just to say that in advance, because it's a lot more personal to me, and I do have fun scrapbook pages in there as well, but that's just for me and it's a space for myself only. But I want to show it because it's really pretty. This is the other hobonichi that I've been using. It's this is the case that I have for it. It has a little moon on the back. I really love the moon. I'm really attached to it, so this is what it looks like, and I have a little the cat charm on it. It's pretty thick. I need a little band for it, so I think that's the one journal that I would probably look into getting a proper band for, just because that's more practical. I feel I can kind of get away with using this ribbon thing for a small kind of planner like this, but if it's something bigger, it would get annoying. But anyway, I'm really blabbering a lot. Also, this video is obviously unscripted. I'm not I have kind of tried to script to guide like what I want to talk about in these hobonichi tours. Like I did it for my end of year one, but I kind of want to return to the formula of just like rambling as I go through this for this one, just because I think it's easier for me. It's a bit more vulnerable and personal that way, and that's kind of how it started. So I want to go back to that. Okay, I'm gonna start off with this before we move on to like the meat of this planner that I've been using. There's for last year's hobonichi, I don't think I didn't really do much with this page. I kind of left it. This year, okay, to some people. Like some people might think this is like unhinged, like Noemi, what is this? Like what are we doing here? Also, I've covered this up with my with sticky notes just because, okay, essentially what I use this for, this section of my planner, I use it as a mood graph. I track my mood throughout the year, and like when I'm sad and when I'm happy, I like move it down, and like I'll draw like a line up or down, and I've been doing this since the start of the year until July so far, so you can see my mood significantly dipped throughout these months, which is the reason I also fell behind in this journal. This year started off good, but kind of like later on became very difficult for me. And the reason I stuck sticky notes here to kind of cover up like the rest is just because in addition to my mood, in addition to like how I feel and stuff and tracking that throughout the year, I also track things like the medications I take and like how many times I go to the bathroom, and the reason I do those things is for like medical purposes, because I struggle. I've been struggling a lot with my health and stuff like that, and I don't want to get into like too much detail with that. And I also just like track my cycles that way. So the reason I'm doing this, I can't really tell you why. There's not like a specific reason other than just fascination. Like I just thought this would be really interesting to do and to look back on. And maybe it'll be useful, but like I don't know, like it's like seeing like a chart of how I feel throughout the year. And I know that to some people that might like look really self-analytical and really like unhinged to like put yourself in like a graph like that, but I just thought this. I don't really have much else to say about this other than I just thought it would be really interesting. Like, I guess also, in a sense, to see how progress isn't linear. You know, like throughout life, like the struggles that we deal with, and especially because there's so many things that happened to me this year that really like affected me. Like, and we're not really even done with the year yet. I guess like. I don't know, I want to see, like, maybe this would, like, looking back on this at the end of the year, maybe it would, like, motivate me and make me realize that, like, even when things are really difficult, they can always get better. So, here, also, just like last year, I'm going to, go through the square spreads first, and then I'm gonna go through the, what are they called? The other ones. Anyway, so this was January. So January, I was like really on top of things. Like I was really motivated. You know, we had the novelty of the new year, so that probably really helped. I took a social media break around this time. That's also when I decided to do like my little vlog video, which I since deleted just because I wasn't really proud of that video. Again, there's a lot of doodling here. I was more on top of things. You can see this is more decorated. I was really into collaging and like origami around that time, like from December to the start of the year, around that like winter time. So I made this little pudding. This is around the time I got my new journal. So that's I think it's called the Hobonichi Cousin, actually, now that I think about it, but that's what I was doing. This is a little doodle of my Annie drawing I did around this time. And then I was also doing clay. The rest of this is just like appointments and meeting up with like people in my life. Again, I fill these squares in with appointments and just things that are like notable to me that I remember, or things that I want to remember. Some months I don't update it as much, and again, especially if I'm like not doing well, and if I'm like overwhelmed and like not really on top of like everything, I just kind of like I don't fill up as much squares. Like some of them just have doodles because I don't really have anything notable about that day. It's important to me to not pressure myself with something like this ever since I've been keeping it, because yes, of course, like it's really fun to do these like mid-year flip throughs, and as fun as it is, and like as much as I like having this, like I really like, it's really nice to have something like this to look back on. Like last year's journal, it's really, really fun to like have that, you know, and I really enjoy having it. But obviously, like with responsibilities in life and things like that, this kind of stuff can get a bit like, it can just like, it can really, sometimes it can feel overwhelming, and when it starts to feel that way, I tend not to like force myself to push through it, because that's not what this is supposed to be for, if that makes sense. It's supposed to be like, it's supposed to be an outlet for me, and just something that like I enjoy and do for fun. I don't want it to be something that's like stressful and whatever. Anyway, I'm sorry, I've been like blabbering on about that. So this was like January. Moving on to February. February is very pink, very Valentine's Day themed. I don't remember a lot from this month other than I received my autism diagnosis on Valentine's Day. And I also marked this day as my shop update day, because at the time I was doing this like Valentine's Day shop update where you did a bunch of like cookie and sweet treat themed things. Currently, this was like the previous shop update I had. It's been really hard to keep up with like making clay drops and making videos all together at once, if that makes sense, and like keeping up with like posting on social media and making art. And not to make my life sound like really hard or anything, because it isn't. It does get overwhelming sometimes for me, and I do these things by choice, but I guess like sometimes I feel disappointment when I can't keep up with all of the things that I wanted. This month I did not commit as much to this square spread, which is I think why there's like a lot of random writing. My mic broke around this time, and I remember I think posting about it, that I was having issues and it delayed like some video making for me. I want to talk a bit about my diagnosis actually. Oh my gosh, I don't really even know what to say. I think first of all, I found it really funny that because I was meant to be diagnosed earlier, like my appointment for my assessment was meant to come like a lot earlier, but it got rescheduled, and I was like, okay, like whatever, but it conveniently got rescheduled to Valentine's Day, and I keep thinking about this, and I know that this might sound like really like woo-woo and very like, you know, like me trying to find meaning where there's probably no meaning, but I can't help but feel like that was like some sort of like metaphor from the universe about self-love or something like that, because I'm gonna need it clearly. Like this diagnosis for me is not something that necessarily surprised me. It has been difficult, to be honest. I don't have people in my life that I can talk to about this kind of thing. My family doesn't really understand it, and I'm not like holding anything against them. Most people don't really understand it and how it like shows up in like adult women, for example, or like what it's like to be late diagnosed. That's been really difficult. When I was diagnosed, I kind of like, I already went into it kind of knowing that I don't really want to tell anyone. It's been very lonely, and it's been a big source of my grief, and even in my like mood chart throughout the year, the line kind of tapers off downwards since I received my diagnosis. I didn't like have an intense reaction to it initially, but I think just like over time, the more that I've like thought back on my entire life and like absorbed this, I've just been grieving. It's really hard for me to describe. One of the things that I really struggle with, I said before, I struggle a lot with like vulnerability and stuff. I struggle with delayed processing, so like it takes me a while to process things like and really internalize them and really like think about them. And basically my point, all of this to say, is that this has been kind of like, this has been a lot for me. It's been a lot of grief. It's felt very, very lonely. I don't have anyone in my life who understands it. I don't really have any support, and I've accepted that I'm not gonna get that. And I like to think that me being diagnosed on this day that's supposed to symbolize like love, to be diagnosed on a day like that, first of all, that's like really easy to remember, but also like, I don't know, maybe that was like a sign, I don't know, to practice self-love, because clearly I'm gonna need it, because I only really have myself in all of this. Moving on. This is Spring is Here spread. So, I think around this time, I was trying my best to kind of get back into things. Like, I want to say that throughout the start of this year, and especially with when my like mood dipped, I was trying very, very hard to like stay on top of things and like keep doing my hobbies and like keep taking care of myself and keep going on walks and things like that. So I think with this spread, I was trying to, like, I was obviously like doing more stuff in here around this time. I was really like, I was just like doing doodles. Like, again, it was like I was just like filling things, like even if I didn't like know what to fill the squares with. I really just wanted to keep myself busy. I didn't want to give up on myself, if that makes sense. So, oh yeah, I made Mimi that month. I'm gonna show her on camera. I'm gonna get her really quickly. Mimi mascot was born in March, so that's very sweet. She's wearing a hair clip right now. I actually keep her on my heart shelf. That wasn't included in my room tour video, because I have a room tour video that I made recently. Well, it was made, I uploaded it earlier this month, or last month, depending when this video goes up, because at the time of this video, I'm filming it at the end of July, which again, I know is really late, and I'm really, really sorry for that, but things just get in the way sometimes, and you know, this is a journal that's like with me throughout my life, so I think it's also like, it's not something that I want to also lie about, because it's like, it kind of defeats the purpose if I only have this thing for the sake of like uploading it to the internet, you know? So however long it takes me and however many pages I fill in here, I've been trying not to kind of feel that pressure to like only work in here for the sake of like showing it to others. It's just something I've been trying to remind myself. I know that I talked about this like so many times at this point, but anyway. So that's also why I wrote reset here. Again, like, as I said, I've been trying very hard to just like not give up on myself, like keep doing my little doodles, keep like working on my hobonichi, like just do anything, do whatever. I wrote bad time here again, so that's like an indication of like what my mood was around the time of this month. And then we have a little grusha inside a pear, and that's Lily from Animal Crossing. I cut this out from my little cat calendar that my mom got for me for this year. It's very sweet. It's my little desk calendar. So this spread is mostly doodles. I wrote moving on here. Oh yeah, I was listening a lot. I've been trying to keep track of like the music I've been listening a lot to. Emphasis on trying, because I don't always remember to do this, but I've been like writing down, like noting down songs that I've really been enjoying and listening to around certain like times of my life. So oh yeah, and I just noticed this. I kind of didn't notice it at first because the writing kind of blends in with this floral thing. And also this is a little Monchichi sticker that I printed out and made. But anyway, I wrote "Let's Take It Slow" this March, and I drew this hermit snail girl as well. Oh yeah, so again, like you can see, there's traces of me kind of feeling off throughout this month still, but still like kind of persisting, because I was like drawing in here and doing stuff. I stuck this bunny in here, and I wrote "Better Times Ahead." I keep like getting distracted as I speak. But I was listening a lot to "Breathe In" by Imogen Heap around this time. And I remember I associate that song with those like little pictures I took of my Mimi mascot in the back of this like yellow flower background. Because I remember I have like a little highlight on my Instagram where time to time I'll upload like Mimi pictures up there. It's just like a Mimi adventure thing. It's just really silly. But that was the first one I uploaded, and I put that song over it. It was stuck in, it was like an earworm for me for a while, which is really funny because I drew a little worm here too. But also I'll get to this in a minute. I feel like this is like kind of the elephant in the room a little bit here, but I was listening a lot to Breathe In by Imogen Heap, and then here I wrote, I had another strange RuPaul dream this month. So if you this is like kind of like a persisting thing in my life where time to time I will have these dreams involving RuPaul from RuPaul's Drag Race, and it's for no reason. I have no particular fixation on this celebrity, no connection whatsoever. So I don't know why this happens. It's really, really ominous. But I need to talk about this because it's really freaking me out. Basically, time to time I will have like a dream involving RuPaul's Drag Race, and it'll either involve me being like on the show, or like in Drag Race, or it'll like involve just some kind of like stage setting. But like it's not always a stage setting. Sometimes it's just like RuPaul's presence is there, and I don't really like know what this means or what to make of it. But anyway, most of the time when it's like one of the more common RuPaul dreams, and this isn't like all the time by the way, like it'll just like every once in a while, like once in a blue moon, I'll have like an ominous RuPaul dream. And every single time I'm having a RuPaul dream, basically it always it always involves some sort of like humiliation or like intense anxiety. I'll have a dream and I'll be on Drag Race, right? And it'll be like it'll be like I'm about to go on stage to do something, but like I'm not supposed to be there, like, and I don't know how to do it. And so it's like, but like it's like you're up next, but you don't know like the routine or the choreography to like the thing that you're gonna be doing, and it's always like a really stressful dream. And when I wake up, I feel like really relieved. And around the time I wake up, it's always like as I'm about to go on stage. So it's like the whole dream is just me like ruminating in this like stage fright anxiety, like of like performing something or like just being somewhere I'm not supposed to be. It's really, really bizarre. Really, like, I don't know what to say about this. I don't think there is much to say about this. Let me know let me know if you also have strange RuPaul dreams, I suppose. Like, am I alone in this? Like, is there anyone else out there who is having ominous Mama Ru dreams? Anyway, moving on to April. I associate April with rain a lot. I'm not really sure why. I wrote here that April feels blue. Around this time is when I started dealing with a difficult situation. As you can see, not many squares here have much of substance. There's a lot of doodles. I was having a difficult time this month. But I was trying, so I remember I decorated a lot of this at the start of this month. Also, this is a side note, but I really love like the mix of like blue and you can't really tell the blue because it really faded away, but I used the blue pastel around this like section, and then I was trying to blend it with like a green chalk pastel. I really like how those colors look together, and that combination of colors gives me a really nice like rainy day feel. So yeah, so I like this spread. It's a little more empty than like the others, but I really enjoy it. And you do see like I was expressing myself. I got my digital camera around this time, which I also actually decorated. I'm gonna show it because why not? At the time it didn't have stickers, but this is what I used. The reason I'm also showing it is because some people, I realize they might have questions. Because I've been asked like what camera I use whenever I've shared like digital camera pictures on my story and stuff. So this is the camera that I use. I glued these mini Super Sticker Club stickers on it. I don't remember the artist's names, so forgive me that I'm not like naming them right now, but this sticker set that I have them from is from Mini Super Sticker Club. That's my little camera. So around this time I was taking a lot of pictures and playing around with that. I was going on a lot of walks. And also again with the existence of a Mimi mascot, I was just like having a lot of fun photographing her and like doing all that kind of stuff. And this camera was passed down to me. I didn't like, my dad just happened to have it like this whole time. I was like, I really want a digital camera, and he was like, oh, we have one. I was like, really? He pulls this out and it's like in perfect condition, and I'm like, wow, like where'd you get this from? And he's like, oh yeah, like your grandpa just had it. So yeah, so that's how I ended up receiving my camera. I'm not really sure why I'm telling this story. I guess it was just like, it was very strange, like, because I was planning to buy one, and and I don't really ask for things, like I don't really tell people things, like, so when I brought it up and like casually, I was just like surprised, like I was like, oh, I would have ended up buying like an unnecessary camera when there was like one available this whole time. You can see I wrote, this month started and ended with anguish. And then I stuck these stickers here, and they're both saying bye to each other. Oh yeah, I watched Succession this month. I want to talk about this briefly because I watched Severance before this, but I didn't mention it in like the previous spreads. But Severance was the reason I watched Succession. Because I was like, this was my thinking, right? Like, I knew they're both like office-y themed kind of shows, I guess. By no means they're the same, but like to an outsider, like to someone who has never seen Succession before and has just finished watching Severance, I was like, oh, like there's this other office-y kind of like vibes show that a lot of people say is good. So that was the reason I watched it. And by the way, before I continue, I really love Severance, like, so much. I don't have much to say about it. I just wanted to say that I really, really loved it. Like, I think... Actually, I am gonna say a few opinions about it, about Severance. A lot of people, like... I don't know if this is, like, just online. A lot of people, like... Because when I was watching it when the Season 2 episodes were airing, and, my favorite thing at the time was, like, looking up theories, online. Like, I really loved reading about like episode theories at the end of every like new Severance episode, and like what the next one's gonna be, and like blah blah blah. And I saw a lot of like, I ended up seeing some people, and I don't know if it's maybe like because it like had a spike in popularity around that time, but a lot of people were saying that they thought season 2 was like badly paced and like they didn't like it. And I don't know if people still feel that way, if it was just like, you know, thing gets popular, people start to like, I don't know, dislike said thing because it's like finding nitpicks where they're not necessary. And by the way, I'm not saying like if you didn't like season 2, that's like fine, like your criticisms are valid. But I want to talk about my opinion, okay? I think season 2 was good, and dare I say, I found it better than season 1. Like, I enjoyed it more. Granted that like I watched season 1 and season 2 together, so maybe I didn't like have the long wait in between seasons that like maybe the OG like Severance fans or whatever had. But and maybe it has something to do with like the fact that the episodes were ongoing and like, you know, people were like discussing them. But I enjoyed season 2 more than season 1. A lot of people complain about the pacing of season 2, and that it was like slow and like that it was like off, and like I do agree with some of the criticisms, like the reintegration plot, but I don't know, I want to trust the writers. Like, I think that they know what they're doing, and pacing wise I actually preferred season 2 a lot more. I found it more engaging to watch, and some of the criticisms I see people give Severance, like season 1, and like well, just Severance as a show, or like I guess in relation to season 2 that I see come up a lot, is like people seem frustrated that it's not like there's less of the MDR team in the office. But I'm gonna be honest, I don't understand that criticism like at all, because it's clearly not that kind of show where they're just gonna be like in this like as a team in this office the entire time. Like, it's just, I think it's pretty obvious it's not that kind of show. But maybe like I understand why people felt that way, because there was such like a gap in between the seasons, and that's kind of what you got in season 1. But I don't know, like I just feel like to me it's not that kind of show, and I think it's kind of, as a criticism to me, like when people complain about the pacing and that it's not like we didn't see the MDR team together in the office much this season. I think it's just a bit like, I don't know, like whatever. Anyway, moving on to Succession. Sorry, that was my Severance ramble. So, Succession. I feel like I'm really scared to say this opinion because here's the thing. I think it's a good show and I understand why people like it. I just think it wasn't for me. Like, it wasn't my cup of tea. And it's not, like, but when I say that, I'm not saying it because I think it's bad. It's just for me, it's not really the kind of show that I really enjoyed. Like, I watched it, but I did find it really slow at points. I didn't, like... Also, I'm not, like... I feel like a lot of people, when I've seen that when they say they don't like Succession... A lot of people assume that it's because like the characters are unlikable and like you just don't like get it. You don't appreciate it for like the character dynamics and like blah blah. That's like not the reason I dislike it. Like it's just really it just wasn't my cup of tea. Like I don't really know what to say. Like it was a good show. I enjoyed it. Like I watched it, but I didn't think it was the best thing ever personally. And that's just my opinion. You know, like some people might like dislike that, but I don't know, I was very underwhelmed, I guess, because everyone was like, this show is like so good, it's like the best show ever, blah blah. Like it was like very, like it had very high praises. To me, I guess, I don't know, I didn't enjoy it as much. I enjoyed it to be okay. I think to say I didn't enjoy it is a bit much. I enjoyed it near the end, like a lot of characters that I didn't like at first. I ended up really liking and like kind of rooting for, even though they were bad people. Well, everyone in that show kind of sucks, that's the thing. So it's like, again, but that's not like my problem with it. Like, my problem isn't like characters that are flawed. Like, I don't struggle with that. I think that can be really compelling and interesting. I just think maybe it's the premise of the show. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna move on from the spread because it's like probably getting boring. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, this spread. We're in May now. So, this month, I got really into Paul Frank. For some reason. I don't know. I'm not sure what this era was about. I think I was just like, oh, I really want a Paul Frank shirt, and I was just like doodling Paul Frank stuff everywhere. You know, maybe possibly because I was a bit lazy, like I didn't know what to doodle. You can see that there's more random doodles spread out here, like I drew this bean dog, which reminds me of the edamame dog character, and that was actually who I was like thinking. I forgot his name, but anyway, I wrote here, this is so cheesy, I hope it's time for my flowers, because oh my gosh, the theme of like the April showers and the rain. So I was like, I hope it's time for my flowers. Oh my gosh, this is, I guess, so cheesy in these, but you know, whatever. Like, I don't know what to say. Cheesy or not, here we are. More bad news. Okay, so this bad news is a little... This bad news was actually, like... I feel like bad news is an understatement because someone died. Yeah, so... It's just... I'm just, like, kind of looking at this, like, spread. This colorful spread, and it's like, bad news, well... Yeah, this month was also kind of dark for me, and again, like, the past few months, even though, like, I did my best, like, the reason that this video is coming out so late, and the reason that I fell behind in this journal in the first place, is because I was just grieving I was grieving, like, 3 different things, and, like, I don't really know what to tell you, you know, it's just, like, that's life sometimes, you know, like that's life, and this little planner is a reflection of that. So here we are. Anyway, I drew Paula Frankina. That's what I named her at the time, but I don't know, like I keep like changing her name up. She's the diva version of Paul Frank. My Paul Frank OC. Yeah, what else? See, there's not that much writing in this spread other than like stomach ache and like I love that instrument thing, and back in my Tamagotchi era. Oh yeah, because I was like getting back into Tamagotchi stuff again. I drew this. This is a real Tamagotchi. No, actually, no, it's not. Why am I lying? This is a Tamagotchi that I made up. Why did I just say that with so much... I said that with so much confidence. Like, this Tamagotchi is a real... No, it's not. I mean, okay. Okay, no. I know I said that. I remember now. I made this ridiculous golden poo Tamagotchi in Microsoft Paint, okay? It's really stupid. It was like... It's really stupid, okay? And it was just... I don't know. I was really bored. And I was just like, I'm gonna draw this, like, ugly, like... I'm gonna, like, put a picture on a screen or something to, like, show you. But whatever, like, just being silly for being silly. Like, yeah, it's immature humor. Like, I get it, okay? Then I was looking, like, out of curiosity, I was just, like, looking up Tamagotchi characters, on the Wikipedia. Because it's fun, because there's, like, a lot of them, and I like looking at them. Like, there are so many Tamagotchis that are so, like, random. Like, there's this one called Billy, and he's literally, like, he's just, like, a guy. Like, I'll try to remember to edit him in as well. Like, I always forget to edit things in. But, I'll show you. He's literally just a guy. And there's just so many, like, abstract Tamagotchis, right? And anyway, so as I'm, like, browsing around, I find some great Tamagotchis, by the way, which one of them I drew on, like, I think the June or July spread. I don't remember which one. But, I find out there is already an existing golden poo Tamagotchi, and I was really disappointed that my idea that I thought was so original was not original. Which, like, obviously it wouldn't be, because, like, that's honestly not that original. But, like, I was really disappointed. I don't know. But I think that's the reason I said it with so much confidence, because there is a Tamagotchi like this, but it's just not my one. And I don't really know. I'm not really... There's a lot of thoughts going on in my head right now as I'm going through this planner, so, like, just bear with me, because, like, I'm trying to, like, remember things from these months, and then I'm also, like, looking at all of these square spreads, and I'm like, what happened? Oh yeah, also, my little brother's birthday and my dad's birthday happened this month, and my best friend's birthday. Everyone's birthdays are happening in May, every year. I wrote May was uncomfortable, though. Yeah, like, again, like, even though I feel like this is kind of sad, actually, because I feel like you can tell through these spreads, like, at least to me, looking back on them now, that I'm like trying so hard to, like, show up in this journal. And I remember this as well. I'm trying so hard to show up in my life, show up in this journal, not give up on myself, like, keep some semblance of whimsy and happiness in my life, like, and just, like, you know, keep doing things, not give up on myself. But despite everything, it's just like, I wrote this, and it's just like I'll write, like, something, like, in here somewhere, something along these lines, and it just, like, reminds me, I guess, of, like, despite everything, I was still really struggling, like, despite, like, the image of this, like, really flowery spread, and, like, the other, whatever, you know, despite all the, like, colorful stickers and everything, like, my mood didn't really reflect that. And to be honest, that, you know, that does make me feel a bit, like, sad, because, like, I wish I was happier around this time, and I wish that this was, like, a genuine reflection of how I felt, but it just wasn't. And I also want to say that some of these spreads, again, because I said I felt behind, the reason that there's, like, some squares are blank, and the reason that there's just, like, more random doodles is because I did take a lot of gaps from updating it. I just kind of, like, I would, like, fall behind for a long time, and then I would, like, go back and decorate it. But when I would go back and decorate it, it wasn't, like, all at once either. It was, like, in parts, and it was, like, in stages and in steps. I'm gonna have to stop recording this in a minute because I have to prepare to go to a doctor's appointment again, which there's been plenty of these already. Anyway, we're in June, so yeah, it was June that I was drawing the Tamagotchis in, so these are some Tamagotchis I discovered that I thought were really cute. There's this little guy, he's so cute, he reminds me of SpongeBob. I call him the SpongeBob Tamagotchi. I think he's called like Marichi or something. I don't remember. And then there's, I think this one's called Bubbleichi, which she looks so sad, but I love her. I love her so much. And then this jellyfish one wasn't really new to me, but since this is like a beach themed spread, I was just like, I found it really fitting to include this little sticker and to draw this one in here. So yeah, so also this little crab one. There's another Paul Frank because of course. Also in my journal, the other one, the big one, I also did like a similar spread for my like June month spread. Like it was just like a to-do list for the month, but like I did a theme with that and I drew my character Lumiere in like a Paul Frank outfit. It's like a blue one. I'm pretty sure there's one in this journal as well. I took bubble pictures of Mimi in this month. I was trying to have this bubble photo shoot with like my Mimi mascot. And I had this bubble wand. These were done with my digital camera now, so like the photos are like a bit more artsy or whatever. But I bought these bubbles and I had my little brother blowing bubbles for like 15 minutes trying to take like pictures, but they weren't very successful. So we ended up buying like this really silly like bubble machine. This month I've been feeling a lot more sick, so I think my mood was kind of improving around this month, like I was getting better. However, well, contrary to what this says, where I wrote that I'm angry at everyone, but that was just like me being in a mood. So that's just like one day out of my life. But I've been feeling really fatigued this month. I don't know, I felt really tired. Oh yeah, and then there's this really stupid quote that my little brother did. This is really funny. Okay, this is a really funny story. Well, it's not like a big story, but my little brother was like holding like an eclair in one hand and like two like plain slices of toast in the other hand, and he had there was no butter on them, no nothing. It was just like a sweet treat in one hand and just these two plain toasts of bread. And I remember I was like, which by the way, like he can do that, like that's fine. But I was like really confused because I was like, the way that looked was really funny, and I was like, what is this meal combination that you're having? And he like looked at me and he's like dead serious and he's like, what? I can't live a simple life? Yeah, this month, I think that's all I remember from this month, to be honest. Again, I started getting really sick, and I was feeling really fatigued and tired. And what I do like about this month though, I like this spread a lot. I like this theme. I was really feeling like the summer vibes, like with this like wave pattern, and I made this sticker is a collage pudding, like jelly pudding that I made in my sketchbook. I actually have a different pudding sticker as well, but I made them into these stickers and I didn't know what to use them for. I don't know if I used the other one, actually. I think I still have it because I've been really picky with what I wanted to use them for, but I ended up sticking this one in here. This was the jelly one. I have the pudding one. They're inspired by these like figures, these like blind box figurines, I think, or gashapons, I don't know, but it's this like green jelly and this like pudding one, and yeah, so that's what that's about. Here we are welcoming 2025 in this 2025 hobonichi. As I said earlier, I was really into origami kind of stuff, and I got a lot of origami paper and I was doing a bunch of that, and I was really into like collage. So this is another byproduct of that. She's carrying like one of those bags on a stick, and she has like a little flower. Not all of this is collage work. She's like walking away with a little like sack on her stick from this door that says 2024, and I stuck a button on this to like represent a door handle, so it's like a little door, and inside is just a bunch of scrap pieces of paper to like, it doesn't really represent anything in particular. It's just like she's leaving 2024 behind, and it says bye bye 2024 and hello 2025. Here, it's a Pikmin Bloom reference. If you don't know, Pikmin Bloom is walking, like, it tracks your steps for you. It's like a fun little app that tracks your steps. So like obviously I'm not taking like 3 steps a day. However, where I'm getting at with this, Pikmin Bloom has this wonderful feature that lets you know how many steps you took that day, and I would get these like ridiculous notifications that are like, you took 3 steps today, your Pikmin are so proud of you, like, well done. And it was just like it's so humbling. I was like, what on earth? I don't need to know that. But anyway, this page is just, so this is pages from the little calendar. I stuck a Mitzi sticker on it, and I made this little bow. And then I also have this book in here. That's just like, it's from the Hobonichi Teko. I didn't know what to do with this, and I didn't want to throw it away, so I stuck it in here. And then I stuck this scrap piece of paper that I had, and I glued these like little cat stickers on it. This page, I would refer to as the easy breezy page. Again, I was just like scrapbooking. The start of the year was like pretty positive. You can see that my like scrapbooking kind of stuff kind of continued here. And it's nothing crazy, I know that, like it's not like really complex. It's essentially just a piece of paper and I drew on it. I wrote more days to come, and just like that, my worries were gone with the wind, blah blah blah. This was made from receipts, and I had this idea of like drawing using a lot of numbers and abstract shapes and stuff like that to like make a girl. And there's like all sorts of like words I've tried to do, and like symbols using like numbers and blah blah. So yeah, that's like you can see I tried to make her bangs out of like 4s, and her blush is like an angled 7. Her mouth is a 1. So yeah. This page, I don't like this page. It's kind of ugly. But this is the Fugler page. I have one in my previous Hobonichi, and that one was in my end of year flip through. So the other one is called Dewey, the blue one I have, and then this one's called Dina. The purpose of this page was just I didn't want to throw away the cute. I think the packaging that the Fuglers have, especially the baby ones, I think it's really cute, and I didn't want to end up throwing it away, so I wanted to use this page to just like, you know, I wanted to use them for something. So even though this page is like kind of ugly, that doesn't really matter to me. This was the sort of this was like transitioning into March, so I don't love this page, but again, at the time, like, this is still the start of the year, mind you, so I'm trying to like fill things up and like actually like do things in here. And then this page is more like writing. It's a bit of writing and some scrapbooking. It's kind of cheesy. I say this in my previous video, and like writing and like poetry and all that kind of stuff is not really like my strong suit, but I do it anyway. And okay, I'm gonna try to read this without like cringing. I wrote, I'm afraid, but I don't want to work my I'm afraid, but I don't want to waste my life away in hiding. What's the point of creating and living if it isn't even shared or discovered? That's a fate worse than even being forgotten. At least forgetting implies the existence of a memory. I think true immortality comes in the form of memories and evidence you were once here too. Wow, guys. I get so deep, and this is like, okay, it's not, I'm joking, but like whatever. This is like whatever was going on in my head right here. Yeah. And then I wrote, I just want to hide, and I wrote, I've had cabin fever for as long as I can remember. I think in this like part of life, in March I was feeling a little bit anxious, which it really tracks. I think this kind of theme of wanting to hide and stuff like that, it really tracks with the feelings that I felt like after my diagnosis in February, because around this time, and again, like as I'm going through this, is because I can't stop thinking of that stupid like mood graph that I did. But oh yeah, this is Pestka. This was another kind of like scrapbook for fun thing. Not too much though. I just like kind of did that with the apples. I was using scrap pieces of paper for this. That's why this is like kind of random. I wrote, it's raining apples, and I came up with this like good apple shirt idea, and this is like the little mascot on her shirt. And I wrote good apple here. There's a Pestka equivalent of this later on, but they're not like they're not like next to each other. They're like a little further apart. This was a Tamagotchi page. So at the time, I ordered this. They reproduced the Tamagotchi, the Clover Tamagotchi, but it was like in silver, not like in the white color that I originally had. I spoke about this in my room tour video, but in my room tour video, I used to have this like white Clover Tamagotchi, and like as a kid, and I have most of my Tamagotchis, like the ones that I've had since childhood. Except that this one I ended up losing. This was like the only one I don't have that I lost, and I'm really sad about that because I wish I had it, you know, like I don't know, like I feel sad about it. I feel sad about losing it. And so when they made these when they remade them, like re-released them, I was really excited to get this Clover one. It's sadly in silver, not white. It looked like brighter. Based on the images online, it looked like a lot brighter than like I thought it would be. So I'm not really like a huge fan of like the fact that it's gray, but I don't mind it too much because it's like I still like it, and you know, it's still like nice to have. Yeah, I think here I'm like reading, I paused to read what I said. Here I just like wrote about that experience and what I was feeling at the time, blah blah. This was the era when I made Meme Mascot, and I was going on a lot of walks, so I drew my Pikmin Bloom. Me. This is Mimi. It's the picture. I'll insert the picture probably. Like I'll do my best to edit these things as I'm editing. Sometimes I forget because it is really like so much. Like these videos are really long and they're really big, but I'll try to edit the picture that I was specifically like referencing here. It's just Mimi in the background of these like yellow flowers, and so this was like around the time Mimi Mascot also like came to life. Here I just made a spread of like things I enjoy lately. It's pretty much what it says on the tin. I was really enjoying 5 music at the time. Specifically the song Television, which I love the music video. I love the they released like with their album, I think it was Sequence 5 or something. Forgive me, I don't remember the name. I don't remember these things. But their album that they released like these mini music videos to go with all of the songs, and I thought that was so cool. It was just so fun and fresh to see, and I really love that. I also enjoyed the song. I enjoyed this album from Boa a lot. Specifically the song Get There and like Wasted and A Girl. To be honest, I love many songs from the album. There's no like one song that I love more than the others, but that was like some of the music I was listening to. I was taking a lot of digital camera pictures around this time as well, and I was playing a lot of Nintendo. I was playing a lot of New Leaf again. I specifically printed out this image because it really resonated with how I felt at the time. Like it just really, I found that really touching. Like I was playing this game to relax, to find some peace in my life, and like when Cap'n sings, when a big wave hits you hard, knocks you off your board. Oh my gosh, I'm bad at reading this. Well, I flailed and I wailed. Oh, I still got swatter up me nose. I think, like, I guess I found it comforting in a really small way because it was just like, it was like a silly song that alluded to hardship in the game, and I don't know, I just, something about that I found really, like, touching and meaningful to me, so that's why I printed it out. Again, there's like a lot of digital camera pictures I have here. So these are all pictures that I took by myself. I really love the pictures that I took. I don't consider myself like a photographer. Like that's not like my main thing. Like there's nothing particularly creative that I'm doing with photography, like just to be clear, but it's more of a hobby that I have for fun, and I will say that I've been really enjoying it. I really love this picture. It's like one of my favorite pictures. I love like the glow because there's like water there, so I love like the glow that emits. And yeah, I was really enjoying Honey Dip towards like the end of March. It's like a very summer album. A lot of the songs on it are very like summery and like spring vibe. I would say it's also spring vibes. To me, I think I'm always going to associate this album with the spring because that's kind of where I discovered it, because I was listening to a lot of this music like long before just the end of March, like through May as well. I'm really glad I discovered this album during the time that I did, because it was just so fitting. I can't really describe it. It made my spring to summer transition feel so like fresh. Like the songs feel so fresh. Like they're just so summer and like spring for me. I really can't describe it. I just love them, and I'm glad I discovered it at the time that I did, because it really made like going on walks and listening to this music it just felt like such an experience for me. I can't really explain it, and it's such like a simple, like mundane thing, but I don't know, like I really love my walks, and I really love listening to music on my walks. Another one of these poetic pages. This is featuring my character Lumiere. I don't love the way I've drawn her here. This was kind of a random page, but I was really into drawing a lot of lotus flowers around this time. Around this time, I drew this, my like, you know how earlier I said that in April, like when I was going through the months of April, and also this is in April, so like it tracks. I was like, during my April square spread, I did the green and blue chalk pastel like blending together, and they said that it gave me like a rainy day feel. So during that time, I actually did like a sketchbook page in my sketchbook that was basically that. I was listening to a tennis song that came out. I don't remember if this song was a recent song or like a song they made in the past. This is my dandelion page. So I was really into dandelions around this time. I really liked them. I was going on a lot of walks, and a lot of dandelions were like blooming around me. There's no particular reason for it. I was just like really fascinated by them. I like taking pictures of them. Also, just I think dandelions are so cute. Like, I don't know, like just the little, like, you blow them and like they disperse into the air and they're like these little puffs. Like, they're just, I can't describe what I'm feeling here, but you get what I mean, hopefully. The song that I had in mind when I was drawing this spread was From Loose Ends by Imogen Heap, and this song is referring to something I went through in my life, but I would say it's more like in a 50-50 way. Like, I wasn't necessarily like, this isn't like a vent page, because I wasn't venting about this situation. I think it was just the symbolism of dandelions and like what the song meant to me, and like a combination of it being stuck in my head. That's why I like made this page, because like these lyrics, I discovered this song last year, and in my last year hobonichi flip through, I talk about like going through friendship loss and blah blah, and I discovered this song last year and it really stood out to me then, and I continued to like go back to it and really like it since. Like, it gets stuck in my head very often. The symbolism of the dandelions, I guess, and this page for me is like, I don't know, I guess you when you blow on them, they like disperse, and I think it's like once you do blow out a dandelion, it like you can't get that back, you know? You like it's not, you can't like gather all the pieces and put them back together. Like, that's it, right? So I think that's like what was going through my head in regards to that symbolism. Here we are again with the Paul Frank stuff. So here I just did a little scrapbook page using like my Tamagotchi stuff. I cut this out of like the Tamagotchi packaging that I got like with my Tamagotchis. And I was using some of my old DDI packaging, and I drew these toros and I stuck them in here. These aren't stickers. I drew these on actual paper and I glued them in. And then I drew this random Kuchipachi because we have like Mamechi and Memechi here, and Kuchipachi is missing and I cannot have that. So, and then this page is very summery, very summer fun. This is I ordered bright yellow Paul Frank shirt. I have it. If I have a picture of it, I'll like include that as well. But I also ordered this like other one that's like dark blue and it has like yellow sleeves. So that was from the Daisy Street collaboration, and then it came with this sticker, so I glued it in here. I also like to wear it with my like dark blue Kipling bag. Like, if you don't know what a Kipling bag is, I think they're known for these like little monkey charms on them, like these fuzzy ones. So I like to wear this top, and I like to wear like this dark blue Kipling bag with it. Here I'm being woe is me again. So again, I was going through a situation in my life that really took a toll on me. It's the reason that I'm not gonna lie, it's the reason that I fell behind in this journal. I was already grieving many things in my life. This situation made me grieve even more. It was really hard for me and really distressing for me emotionally. But at this time, I was feeling kind of better, or at least I was trying to. Like, this thing happened in my life, and it made me realize a lot of things as well. Like, the more time passed, the more I realized, like, especially with like discovering that I have like delayed processing and stuff, which I don't know how much that affected the situation, but it doesn't really matter. The more I look back on the situation, the more upset I feel, if I'm being honest. The more things really don't sit right with me. And I've just come to realize, like, sometimes it's okay to just not like things and not stay in situations in life just because you don't like them, because they don't feel good. And that's how I feel. But anyway, so this was like an expression of, I was trying really hard to, like, again, like, hold myself together, despite, like, this affecting me so much emotionally and mentally. And so I made this, and it is really cheesy, I'm not gonna lie. I wrote, "I will always glue the broken pieces of myself together again, over and over." I guess it was just like, as any healing process is, you know, it's not linear. Like, it comes in waves. Like, there'll be times and, like, days and weeks and months where I do really well and I don't think about this situation at all, and it's fine, and like, and life feels fine for a moment. But then it'll, like something will happen, I'll be reminded of this situation, and it'll, like, hurt a lot for a while again, and I have to pick myself back up from that, you know. This is just a summer spread in May. Well, isn't May, like, kind of the start of the summer? But this is Grusha in her beach outfit, which I want to do, like, a proper digital drawing of, and I know we only have, like, August left. This is like a summer spread. There's Grusha. I forgot her name in here. She's from the Tortimer Island thing. This is Seven with a banana on her head. They actually have a summer outfit that I developed a lot more in my head. Basically, they're a character of mine, and they're like a silly kind of joke character of mine. Like, they don't really have serious, like, story or lore, but they have, so they usually wear, like, these just, like, orange pants, and they said in their, like, character description, I said that they wear boxers a lot. Like, they'll go out in those, like, boxers with, like, the hearts on them, like those, like, obnoxious, like, cartoon ones. In the summer it's different. They wear a banana as an accessory, like, they hold it like a purse, like, it's not for eating purposes. I also want to give them, like, a pineapple haircut, and also they in the summer they wear, to match with all of that, they wear boxers with like a banana pattern instead. Basically, they also wear star-shaped sunglasses, and they are yellow to match the banana yellow theme. I mentioned drawing Lumiere in this Paul Frank outfit. Oh, actually, what inspired this at the time for me and drawing, like, my character in this was the Hello Angel Girl Paul Frank collaboration, which I still want to draw my characters in. I haven't done it yet, but I really want to. I did draw them in my sketchbook, but I wanted to do these, like, digital drawing versions, because for those who don't know, because I have 2 Instagram accounts, like, 2 art accounts, but, like, this isn't really about accounts. It's just, like, I like drawing, like, really soft art and stuff like that, and I share that on, like, my one account, like, Scary Mimi one. But then I have, like, a side account where I just draw, like, I consider it my hobby account, where I just draw like, it's strictly focused on OC art. Anyway, so I did a sketchbook page about it, actually, but it's not really the Hello Angel Girl outfits, because I want to draw Lumiere in a tracksuit. And I did draw Celine. I drew her in the bikini from it, which is really cute. But again, I want to do, like, more, like, crisp, like, clean digital versions of it, like, just for fun. Cause so this is the Grusha counterpart to the Pesca drawing. Instead of good apple, she has silly pear, because Grusha is, I guess, more rambunctious or whatever. So Pesca gets the good apple and she gets the silly pear. If Pesca is good apple, then Grusha is silly pear. You know, it just makes sense. So this is the mascot for that, silly pear. And instead of it's raining apples, it's raining pears. And then it's the same kind of thing, except instead of this page, Grusha's on this page, and then you have, like, then I did the same, like, kind of border thing going on here. And then this page is more of my photography with my digital camera. This is Mimi with the dandelions. This photo did feature earlier on, but this page was already dandelion themed, and I really enjoyed it, so I included this specific Mimi photo with the dandelions in the back anyway. Also, I just really liked it. I really love how these photos turned out. I love how vibrant the green is. I just really enjoy these photos. Like, again, like, I have really fond memories of this time. And these walks in my life brought me a lot of peace. So, you know, I wanted to dedicate a page about that. And then here I did this, like, lighting study. So it's like, it's inspired by this artist. I'll try to find them And if I do like find out who makes these kinds of drawings, I'll try to include it if I don't forget. But basically it's meant to be like the light hitting the grass, but it's the way they draw it is like so specific. It's very like soft, and they use all these like yellows and greens. It's like really pretty. So in this page I found it fitting to basically like do a study and like a page of that. And then here is if you haven't seen it, it's this like genre of posts. They're with mama posts. They're like laying softly with mama, doing XYZ with mama, and it's like these like really cute animals. Like it'll be like a mama bear with like her cubs, and it'll be people posting like doing like, I don't know, like walking through the forest with mama. So this was like around Mother's Day. Here is usagi. I wrote free will here because basically I just wanted to draw usagi, and that's what I did. This was around this time that like $2 thing was like stuck in my head. That audio. I don't know if it was Chikawa or Usagi saying that, but I was thinking of Usagi when this was stuck in my head. So even if it wasn't him saying that, it doesn't really, like, it doesn't matter because like he was stuck in my, I was thinking of him, not Chikawa. This page is unfinished. Again, I know that some people might be disappointed, and this was also what I was like worried about before making this video. I was like, oh, like what if people think I like didn't try as hard as last year? But here's the thing, like these things aren't like competitions and like things that are like meant to be done to perfection. Like this is essentially a planner and a journal that I don't use for show, like I already said that. So yeah, this page is not finished. I wanted to do something with bubbles here, and I put like my bubble Mimi pictures here. And I wrote, even through this page, I feel his looming presence, because this Usagi that I drew here, he bled through the back, so you can just see him. And honestly, I don't plan on covering him up. Like, that's why I wrote this, because I don't want to cover him up. Like, let him watch. Like, let him be here. He's like omnipresent. I don't know. But anyway, I was gonna draw like a bubble girl here, but I didn't really know like what pose I wanted to do, and to be honest, I felt really overwhelmed, so I ended up not doing anything besides just these bubbles. This spread is really fun. I was having a little photo shoot with an apple. This page is probably my favorite scrapbook page so far in this journal. I had a little apple photo shoot with my digital camera, and also I didn't remember where I stuck this sticker at the time, but I was thinking that I stuck it on this page. So yes, it is on this page. As you can see, that's the other collage pudding like counterpart sticker to the jelly one. I stuck the Serani Poji My Love Marshmallow album in here, I think. It says it on here, I'm so silly. This is meant to be like a disc, like an Apple disc, like coming out of this like album. I'm not really sure if it gives disc vibes, but that's what I was going for, just so you know. I stuck a bunch of like buttons here. I have this like puffy button sticker sheet. It's amazing. I really love it. I'm gonna be so sad when I use it up. This is my favorite page. There's really not much to say. I drew this little Mimi and an apple here, and I drew Ringochi because I missed her. It's been a while. I remember she was like my favorite for a while, especially when I was like raising my little Tamagotchi called Bub or whatever earlier in this year. It turned into a Ringochi for a while, and her name was Bub. But yeah, what was I gonna say? Oh, I don't remember if I spoke about this before or not. I may have, but this album found me during a very dark time in my life, and it was just, I remember listening, I think the song was called My Sweet Marshmallow or something like that. I don't remember, but there's a song on this album called that, and when I first heard it, I thought it sounded so cute and so sweet that it was impossible to feel sad when I was listening to it, and it found me during a really sad time in my life a few years ago. So yeah, so I included it here again. I haven't listened to it in a while. I probably should, but yeah, I really love this page. Then here we are healing again, but this time with George Michael lyrics. Listen, I don't know what this was about. I was just like, I was listening to this song and I was drawing, and these lyrics really stuck out to me because that was like the song that was stuck in my head at the time when I was drawing this. So it's very like soft pencils, This is supposed to be like a ghost, so like they're splitting away from each other, but I don't really know if you can actually tell, but that's what I was like going for. And I wrote the lyrics, well, you're out of time, I'm letting go, you'll be fine, well, that much I know, which just goes, it relates back to the situation I was trying to heal from, or whatever. It is really cheesy, but you know, who said that you can't heal with the power of George Michael's angelic voice? Anyway, so far, I'm gonna be honest, this is where we kind of end. There are no more pages in here that I have, and I know that this might be disappointing to some, but keep in mind that this tour was supposed to come out in July anyway, so this would have stopped around this point anyway. And also, just again, so far, I think the first half of my year has been a little hard, a little harder than last year. I think last year I was weirdly more optimistic, even though there were things happening in my life affecting me back then too. But I think this year, especially with my health and just other stuff that I've been dealing with, it's just been harder to keep up with this. And again, I don't want this to turn into something that I'm like rushing and doing for the sake of like views and posting on the internet, because this isn't what this is about. So I'm gonna leave it here. I just want to say, like, thank you so much if you made it to the end of this video again. I am really sorry that this video is coming out in August, even though I did say this video would come out in July. This isn't something that should feel pressuring, you know, like, it's there for you when you need it, and you can come back to it when you need it. I've come back to, like, these pages, like, way later than I was supposed to, and it was there for me when I needed it, and it was there for me when I wanted it. Like, this little page, for example, there were many times in my life where I wouldn't have felt motivated to like put this together. I may have wanted to, of course, but like I just may not have felt like it. Like I may not have like felt motivated. And then when the time was right, I sat down and like it was like a nice little scrapbooking, calming activity for me, you know. So yeah, so I suppose for now, I really hope that the second half of my year will be a bit more optimistic. I really want to get back to myself and get on track. This is something that I've expressed already, but when I say get back to myself, I just mean like I want to feel better, like physically, like regarding my health. I want to feel better emotionally, and I don't want things hindering me anymore. Like I want to get back to myself in the sense that I want to continue doing my goals and projects without being hindered by like any like emotional turbulence. And this is like, I don't know, this feels like a ritual for some reason, but I just want the rest of the year to be positive, and let's hope that that can be the case, I suppose. So thank you for watching. Thank you for 10,000 subscribers. That means a lot to me that so many people would want to subscribe and just like see my videos. Like, I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for all of the support and the comments on last year's hobonichi video and just on my content in general. I really appreciate it. When I started this channel, I was extremely anxious, and I still deal with anxiety because it's a lifelong thing, but I can kind of say it does get easier. It's very slow, and the only thing I can say, I suppose, is that sometimes you do like care a little less, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but I just mean like in the context of anxiety, it does get easier in that sense where you can care a little less, like, and I know it because I've experienced it. So I'm specifically, I think, speaking to people who, you know, also feel like potentially anxious like I do. I'm saying this because for me, this started off as like exposure therapy. Things can get easier, and I don't know yet. I just want to say that, like, to anyone else out there who also feels really awkward and anxious like me, things can get easier, and they will feel really scary when you do them at first, but I don't regret it. I'm glad that I can be here another year and make this video, even if there was a delay, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.